Hey guys, it's Rachel from The Little Green Lamb, and today I'm doing my May wrap-up. So in May I read 8 books, which is quite a lot. Sorry for my very messy bookshelves. Even though we're in like quarantine, I'm supposed to be inside, I've been doing an online course, and then if I'm not doing that, I'm playing Animal Crossing or reading or talking to friends or doing some other stuff I have to do for my general maintenance. So yes. Anyway, also I wanted to film today on my camera, but I forgot to charge my camera. I got all ready and I was like, I'm gonna film, and I'm like, I don't have my camera and I don't really want to put on makeup the next few days. Like, I've just had a lot of days of makeup. And as much as I like putting on makeup, I don't like to put it on just to stay in the house anymore. Well, not stay in the house, but to film. So I like to now plan my filming days around when I'm going out. And today I was running errands, so that explains it. So I just decided to do a live video so I could get this out there for you guys. So the first book I read in May is Defending Jacob, or was Defending Jacob by William Landay. And this book, it's like mirrored for me. I hope you guys can see the actual cover. But this book is the book that's the basis of the Apple TV Plus TV show that has Michelle Dockery and Chris Evans. That's his name. I have yet to watch that. This is always the case of me. It's like I'll watch the program. I mean, I'll read the book and then I won't watch the adaptation. Like, I'm the worst for that. It's like the people who watch the adaptation first and then they don't go back to read it. I'm the opposite. So I still have to watch that show. I'm watching quite a few shows right now on the go, so it's been kind of difficult. But this book, because I haven't hauled it yet, and I don't know which books are going to be my book haul because I have a few, like, it's just kind of run amok because I haven't filmed a book haul in so long. But Defending Jacob is pretty much about a young boy named Jacob who is charged with the murder of one of his classmates, and it factors on the story of the two parents trying to work through the case, specifically focus on the father because he was, I believe, a probation officer. No, he wasn't a probation officer. Oh my gosh, why am I forgetting this right now? Let me see if it's inside. He's a district attorney. I don't know why I thought he was a probation officer. I was like, he doesn't work with people there. I think I was thinking of prosecution in my head, and then I was like, wait, But it was a really good book. It wasn't one of my favorites of all time, but it was pretty gripping. And if you like courtroom scenes, I personally love courtroom scenes. My undergrad was in pre-law, so I like to test my knowledge to see, but usually it's pretty reader friendly. But yeah, if you really like those scenes, you'll really like that book as well. I know some people are kind of wary of those scenes, so just a warning. The next book I read was Younger by Pamela Redmond. And this is the book that's based on the TV show that has Sutton Foster and Hilary Duff, among others. And the TV show was unavailable in Canada. Like, they aired it on one TV station, but I didn't have DVR. And where I could watch reruns, they don't have my cable provider, even though I have that channel that shows the show. So there's nowhere ever I could watch it. And then Amazon Prime actually put all the seasons that are up to date right now on it. I believe the 7th season comes out this summer, if it's not delayed because of Corona. And I just decided to read the book, and I really enjoyed it. There's actually a sequel coming out this September, in case you didn't know, because when I was looking at this I saw that. The TV show is amazing. I like the TV show more than I liked the book, but I still think the book's pretty good if you've read the TV show. There is the one confusing portion, which is that the main character has obviously a different name, and her daughter's name is Diana, but in the show Diana is the name of her boss. So by watching the show first, I got very confused, but I feel like it would have been the same way vice versa. And this book's basically about a girl named Alice who can't find a job anywhere. She's been out of work because she's been raising her daughter, and who she got pregnant with shortly after college when she was just in the working force. And because she is too old to or not too old, but like society deems her too old to get an entry-level position, she lies about her age because she has the appearance of a younger person and gets a job at a publishing firm pretending to be a 26-year-old. I think in the book it's 28 or 29 though. I think it might be 28, but in the show I believe it's 26. The next book was a reread for me, so I have a review up already of this book. If you want to check it out, you could just go on my channel and use a little search bar and search it. But anyway, the book is The Truth About the Harry Kubert Affair by Joel Dicker. This was one of my favorite books. I believe I read it for the first time in 2015. It was my favorite book of the year. I reread it because me and my mom watched the mini-series. I had yet to watch it. I watched, I think, 3 episodes, and then this past November, and then my placement started and I got very distracted, and obviously during placement I don't have much time for TV. so I couldn't really get sucked in. And I was also really addicted to Smallville, so I was like, whenever I had an hour to watch TV, I was like, I am watching Smallville, which I've now finished, just in case you want to know. And yeah, I really enjoyed rereading it. It was really good. The TV show adaptation is one of the best. I think it is. I'm actually going to deem it the best adaptation I've watched, which I know is saying a lot considering I just said that I don't watch a lot of adaptations, but it is almost spot on. The things they left out were very minuscule details, but even like small, like they left out minuscule details, but they also used a lot of minuscule details, and a lot of things lined up, because I wanted to reread it after watching the show just to see how close it was. And it was an addicting reread. It still had me wrapped in its claws, hooks, tender hooks, you know the phrase. It still had me wrapped up and absorbed in it, which was amazing. Really proves it's a really well written, really good book. And I was telling my mom like what things were taken from the book, because we couldn't remember some little details, so I was trying to see what I could find while rereading. The next book I read was A Miseducation of Henry Kane by Charles Brooks. So this is a TV show book, technically, so it was written by one of the characters in Younger. So if you see a theme, my book haul got postponed because the other one, which is A Marriage Project, just came in. And it was supposed to be here May 2nd. It came June 2nd. Literally got lost in the mail, I guess. Craziness. Well, not craziness because the time period, but just like I've never had anything actually lost in the mail that it took that long to get there, even from Book Depository, who've ordered off of a few times a year. But it's here now, but I haven't read it yet. But The Miseducation of Henry Kane was a book that was introduced, I believe, in the 6th season. Yeah, the 6th season of Younger, and it was written by the character Charles Brooks. And it's basically about a guy named Henry who is, I think they're in the Hamptons for the summer, and he's kind of living two identities, and he's kind of straddling those two identities with himself and then his alter ego Joe, and all the shenanigans he gets up to. And it's actually, for a TV show book, very well written, and I really enjoyed the plot. So that was definitely one that I was very shocked by. The last TV book that I read from a TV show, I believe, was Castles, the Castle series books, and I read the first one, and it was horribly written. Some of the characters, they messed up their names or they didn't spell them right. Like, not very great. Just in the writing sense, let alone the plot. So I was kind of nervous, but because the show is centered around publishing, I'd assume the books that they publish because of the show would be top notch, or at least like not as bad as that one. No offense to the people who worked on it, but it was very rough. It seemed like more like a Wattpad, like first draft story before people on Wattpad even touch it up. You know, when you're just writing for fun and you're just, you know, throwing caution to the wind. The next book I reread, so this was a reread again, and I believe I have a review of this up on my channel. I'm not 100% sure because I read this book such a long time ago that I don't even know if I had my YouTube channel yet. But it's Nantucket Nights by Hildebrand. And I just was looking at my shelf and I was like, you know what? I really feel like reading an Hildebrand book. Her newest one releases in, I think, 11 days. I have it pre-ordered. So excited. But this book is basically about, so there's different perspectives in the book, but basically the whole plot is centered around three friends, Kayla, Antoinette, and Val, and they have their summer end ritual. They've been performing for 20 years, and they have what they call the night swimmer, so they're swimming at night, and they have this big feast. And basically, one of the friends doesn't return that night, disappears, they can't find her. And the book kind of centers around this mystery and unraveling what led to all this, and it's really good. I actually really like it. It's one of my favorite Hildebrand books, and I hadn't read it. If I haven't read it before my YouTube channel started, that means I haven't read it in 8 years, because it'll be 8 years this June my YouTube channel, so that means I haven't read it in maybe 8+ years, but it was held up. It was really good. The book I read after that was Stay Up with Hugo Best by Erin Summers, and this book I received last summer, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it a whirl. I'm kind of feeling like, after watching Younger, still in that entertainment vibe. And this book was okay. It grabbed me in, but I feel like there was a lot of I had more unanswered questions by the end than answered questions. But this is basically about a man named Hugo who is a talk show host, and it's his last show of his run, and he invites one of his staff members to come back to his house for Memorial Day weekend, which is actually quite ironic because I think I was reading this during Memorial Day weekend, not knowing not remembering because I'm not American. So like I remember it the week of because I see all the Americans like posting stuff, but we have our like holiday weekend the weekend before Victoria's Day, or well, it's Victoria's Day is a Monday, but like Victoria's Day weekend. But yeah, it was a pretty good book. I still have a lot of answers. I would really like a sequel or like a prequel or something that would answer me because I have unanswered questions. Yeah. But it was a gripping book. Like if you want something that's fast and entertaining, it did entertain me. And it was like, because I had all these unanswered questions, I was kind of really wanting to see where it was going to lead. And unfortunately, it didn't lead too far, but it was still a good read. Then the second last book I read in May was another reread. So there's a lot of rereads I've been finding. Because I've had the time. My book challenge, I'm at 29 books read out of my challenge of 30 books for the entire year. And I'm really happy I made it 30, and I was worrying about that because it's like with my master's in the fall and working, like how am I going to juggle this? And I'll have no pressure after this next book I read, and it's June, and it's only halfway through the year, so I'm feeling really confident in my reading challenge. So I'm letting myself reread a few books as well when I want to when the whim hits. So I reread The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins and Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. I know I have reviews of these two up on my channel. Not that you need to watch my reviews because most of you watching this have already A, read the books, or B, know all about them, or C, saw the movie, or D, all of the above. But if you want to hear my thoughts, you can definitely check out my video. I'm not going to take away that promo from myself. But I reread them. I wasn't planning on reading the new Hunger Games book. I'm currently reading them on page 157 as of this live recording. I'm going to be reading some more tonight, so no spoilers. But if you want to discuss it later, I'm definitely open to that. Or if you want to follow my progress on Goodreads, definitely let me know in the comments below and I will link you to that. I need to get better at answering my comments. I know that. Every time I go on my computer, it's my online course. It's like, let's go see. And I'm like, I sometimes need to stop myself because I'm like, it's 10 o'clock at night. Like, we're not doing this. We're winding down for the evening, Rachel. Almost call myself by my nickname that I don't share online. But anyway, reread that because my friend Denise read the new one the day it came out and absolutely wanted to talk to me about it and like wants somebody to talk to about it. And I was like, okay, so I need to reread the Hunger Games books to get to that point. I read Mockingjay, but it finished in June, so that's why I didn't put in this wrap up. But I really enjoyed rereading the Hunger Games series. Like the first two books I really, really enjoyed. I'm going to say this about the third book. The third book I didn't really enjoy the first time I read it, and I read it back when it came out, so that was 10 years ago, which is crazy. But I really enjoyed it more so reading it this time. I think maybe because I've seen the visuals in the movie, so it was easier for me to get those visuals up in my mind, and yeah, it just made it easier to go around reading it. And now I'm kind of puzzled whether I like the first book or the second book better, and I think they're almost tied because I used to hold the second book in so much higher regard, but I also really like the first book on reread, so I'm kind of confused. But I'm going to be really sad when I finish the newest Hunger Games prequel because then I'm done the series again. And so far it holds up. Really enjoy it. And yeah, that's my May wrap up. I currently have 4 books on the go that I'm reading. 2 are math resources for my teaching and stuff like that. And then 2 are for fun. So we have quite a few. So I'm expecting this month to be quite a heavy reading load in terms of wrap up. Also, before I go, I'm not going to be doing any TBRs for right now because I don't really know what I want to read. When I have a clear, succinct picture, I might post one every once in a while, but I don't think I'm going to post them anymore because I usually don't stick to them very well. The only time I will post a TBR from now on would be like if I'm doing a readathon where it has purposeful questions I have to answer in order to read those books, or some other reason. But anyway, I want to get back to filming like sit down videos so you can see my face and also hear me instead of it just being like me showing books. Sunday night videos, my Bow Back to Me's are probably going to be in that format, but I want to try to film one video where I am sitting in front of the camera. I'm working on trying to get some editing software on my new laptop, so it might just be live videos where I'm sitting here and I'm talking, but I'm easing myself back into putting up more content. I really want to. I'm just personally being lazy, and I know that. School just knocked it out of me. I don't know. It's hard sometimes going back in front of the camera and talking again, and it seems like a really stupid reasoning, but when you've done this for a while, it's like I had to take some time to think, do I really want to do it? And I really do want to do it, so I really need to make the effort to do that. But anyway, let me know what you guys read in the month of May, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!